Welcome everyone to our presentation with our partner, Ask Resource Center today. My name is Kim Karwal. I work with Easterseals Iowa Assistive Technology Program, and I am just going to provide you a brief overview of our services, as well as an introduction to our presenter today, Alicia Karwal. Please make sure that we have access to your email address and the county that you are in right now in the chat window. Easterseals Iowa's mission is to provide exceptional services to ensure that all people with disabilities or special needs and their families have equal opportunity to live, learn, work, and play in their communities. Our Assistive Technology Program is the state implementing entity here in Iowa, and we serve all areas of Iowa, all 99 counties, and all individuals are eligible to access our services. We have information and referral where individuals can contact us for any assistive technology related questions. We have a demonstration center that currently is closed, but we will have it open very, very soon this summer. A durable medical equipment loan program that is still in operation, although we are not accepting donated durable medical equipment at this time. We do have some equipment in inventory that's by call. Our lending library services where you can check out assistive technology devices for a free trial period. This consists of over 1,000 devices in various categories, including daily living, communication devices, computer and related, educational items, recreation, sports, and leisure. And then we have the online assistive technology exchange. We are so excited to welcome Alicia Karwal to present today. Alicia Karwal and her husband, Jason, reside in Adel with their 2 daughters, Isabel and Sophia. Alicia earned her degrees from the University of Northern Iowa in elementary and special education. She is a former education teacher and now works with Ask Resource Center as a family support specialist. In her current role, she says she's privileged to work with Iowa families of children with disabilities. Alicia helps to guide, support, and empower these families in their journey. She also had the opportunity to work with the many professionals that serve these individuals. Alicia is passionate about advocating for individuals with differing needs. She also enjoys watching her girls do the things that they love, including reading, traveling, and spending time with many families and friends.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this morning, and thank you, Kim, for this invitation and this opportunity. I'm excited to share out for Ask Resource Center. Again, I'm here to represent and share a little bit about Ask Resource Center, which stands for Access for Special Kids. Again, my name is Alicia, and my role at Ask Resource Center is a family support specialist. And I have my email linked there below. If you need to reach out at any time, you are welcome to do so. So a little bit about who we are to start us off. Ask Resource Center is a parent training, information, and advocacy center for families of children with special needs across the state of Iowa. So we serve statewide. Ask is a family-driven nonprofit organization, so we are funded through different grants. I want to make clear that we are not a service provider, nor do we provide legal representation or advice. We are really there to provide advocacy support. So our mission is empowering individuals with disabilities and their family members by providing innovative and collaborative advocacy, training, resources, and support. A little bit about the history of Ask Resource Center. Because I think it's pertinent in who we are today still. It was started by 2 parents who were sharing common experiences of raising their own children with special needs. It started in the early 90s. These 2 women met each other, and because of their shared experiences, they got to know one another, became friends, and then started the long, arduous process of pursuing improved services, not only for their own children with special needs, but for all persons with special needs and their families. They spent many, many hours brainstorming ideas and fact-finding, and then came to the decision to form a nonprofit resource center. The center was formally named Access for Special Kids Resource Center, so that's where the acronym comes from, ASK. This resource center would serve persons with special needs, their families, as well as the professional community. So it was officially became a nonprofit in 1997. As you can imagine, the need continued to grow, and they could no longer do it alone. They were, doing it on their own time, volunteering in the beginning. And so the team grew, and they eventually secured the PTI grant for the state of Iowa, which Ask Resource Center has held ever since then. And I'll talk a little bit more specifically about the PTI grant and the work we do around that coming up. So through the years, Ask took on new community partners, projects, and challenges. And I do think it's important to note that all of the people who work for Ask Resource Center, our staff includes individuals with different family members that have a disability. For example, our youngest daughter has a disability. So each one of us that work at Ask Resource Center have that personal connection as well. We are, as a nonprofit, we're run by a board of directors. Some of the major activities that our board does includes fundraising, program and monetary oversight, and then strategic planning. The work of the board is to protect the public interest and ensure that our organization achieves its purpose. We are always looking for board members, so if that's something that interests you, feel free to reach out to us. I want to note that our board of directors are all individuals that we serve. The board of directors includes people across the state of Iowa. The following slide shares the two main programs, or our foundational programs at Ask Resource, and then I'll go into a little more detail about each of those programs. These are each supported through grants awarded to Ask Resource Center. The first one is the one that I'm primarily working under, and that's the PTIC, which is the Parent Training and Information Center. That's that initial grant that Ask Resource secured back in the 90s. And we've been fortunate to hang on to that grant over the years. And then the second one is the F2F HIC, which stands for the Family to Family Health Information Center. So to go a little bit deeper into what the PTI does, the PTIs, they exist across the nation, and they're authorized under IDEA, which is Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So every state has at least one PTI. Some states have more than one, and it's dependent upon population. So for example, you can imagine with the Chicago area, they actually have their own PTI. And then the rest of the state may have some additional PTI groups. The Office of Special Education Programs, or OSEP, has an investment in every state as well. So what we do, we work to disseminate information that's done through our website, through social media, through listservs. We provide family support. I want to share a little bit about how that might look. Of course, it's individualized and on case by case, but we provide individualized family support through our intake process. There are two of us that work as family support specialists, and you can reach out. I'll share a little bit more about how to get that help, but we have online requests available, and you can also simply call our office. Some examples of how we provide support to families, and this is not all inclusive, but we might help families who are navigating or just beginning to navigate the special education process. Maybe their child has just been identified as eligible to receive special education. So we help them understand that process. Hope to help improving communication and collaboration between families and schools and the other professionals that serve individuals. We help navigate through different transitions, not just the transition from high school to adulthood, but also from early access. So those kiddos who are served from birth to age 3, they have an IFSP. When they transition to school age and they have an IEP, those are two different systems. And so we help parents understand how to go about those transitions and how to support their children during those times. And then finally, another example is understanding parental and individual rights. So again, I want to stress we are not a legal center, but we do spend a good amount of our time helping families navigate their procedural safeguards and rights. And then finally, we provide training, again, on rights, advocacy, and dispute resolution strategies, special education, and transition practices. Those trainings are sometimes done in person. I'll talk specifically about a respect training that we do and that I'm fortunate to get to be a part of a little bit later. We do webinars. We have things available online, and then we hold conferences. The focus of a parent center is to guide, support, and empower individuals and their families to be effective advocates and to improve educational systems for all children. And when I talk about serving children, the age group that we really serve is birth to 26 years of age. If we get a call from an individual with differing needs who is 28, we're not going to turn them away, but our primary focus is on 0 to 26. Next, I'll talk about the F2F HIC, which is the family to family, is how we refer to it. grant. And you'll see that this slide looks very similar to the last slide, and that's because we do the similar kinds of work as with the PTI grant. The main difference, if I were to sum it up, is the PTI grant is centered more around the educational piece, whereas the family-to-family might be centered more around that health piece. Again, we disseminate information, but that family support that we provide might be connecting families to resources in their community, such as Easterseals and the different things that they offer. It might be helping them navigate Medicaid and MCOs. It might be helping them become more knowledgeable about the waivers that are available in the state of Iowa, and even helping, guide them through applying for those waivers. And then again, we provide training as well. And so an example of one of the trainings we have that's tied to the F2F funding is called Wait a Minute, I Disagree. And it's a presentation on healthcare advocacy for consumers and families. So I've talked a lot about that family support piece, and so I wanted to share out how you can get help if you are a family member or if you're a provider of some sort. We have a lot of providers that refer families to Ask, and there's two simple ways that they can get assistance. They can either just call directly, and I provided both our local phone number and our toll-free number, and you will talk to our intake specialist when you call, and then she refers your case on to one of us, one of the family support specialists, and we get in touch with you in a timely manner. Also online, that's checked regularly. There's a place on our website, which is askresource.org/contact, and you can fill out a contact request form by going to our website. So those are the two easiest ways to start the process of getting some help. So I mentioned conferences in an earlier slide, and so it's really disappointing, but this year we've had to cancel. This is the Together We Can conference is one of our biggest conferences that we partner with other organizations to present a very well-attended conference for individuals with disabilities, their families, and the people who support them. It's held annually, typically in May. So unfortunately, as I was saying, this year we've had to cancel, but the conference will be back in May of 2021. The event has amazing keynote speakers, and then there are different breakout sessions so that you're able to tailor sessions you attend to your own needs or your family's needs. We also have a resource fair that brings in vendors from across the state. I know Easterseals has been a participant in that in the past, just to share about different services, products, etc. I do want to note that this is a conference for both professionals and families. It is free for individuals with disabilities to attend, or their parent or other family members can attend for free as well. And then there is credit available for professionals. You can look for that information usually early spring every year. It's shared out on our Facebook page. It's sent out to past attendees, I believe, and then also on the website. So we will look forward to that event again in 2021. The next thing I want to share about is one of those specific trainings that I referenced, and that's the RESPECT training. Again, I am fortunate to be a part of this training as I am a trainer in training right now and hope to lead that in the coming year. We're still hopeful that we will get to provide some of these trainings around the state. RESPECT is an acronym that stands for Recognizing Everyone's Strengths by Peace Building, Empathizing, and Communicating and Trust Building. Typically, this training is offered several times per year in different places around the state. This is a well-attended training series for both educators, administrators, and then also families. And I want to note that so it's for 4 days, but they're not consecutive. That would be really difficult for professionals, I think, or even individuals to attend 4 full days of training consecutively. So they make sure that it is spread out. So for example, you may have one date in September, one in October, one in November, and one in December. There are full days of training. It's an intensive training on relationship building and conflict resolution skills. It's been very well received, and we have requests every year. Different districts or AEAs can put those requests in so that we can come to you. You simply call Ask to put in the request. And again, that's not just for educators and administrators, it's also for family members. And then I've got two other things that I want to talk about, important pieces of ASK. The first one is parents as partners in mentoring. We know the importance of parents helping parents. And so this is Iowa's statewide network of volunteer parents supporting families of children with disabilities or special health needs. So again, it's parents working with other parents, people who are walking the same walk. It involves people across the state, and our goal is to give families the skills and supports they need to help their child with a disability to reach their full potential. If this is something that interests you, please let us know by contacting us as well. And then last but not least, I want to share out about Transition Iowa. There's an awesome, robust website called transitioniowa.org that we are a part of. We have a specific person at Ask Resource that kind of heads up the transition piece. And the website is to support youth and young adults with disabilities, their families, and the professionals who support them as they move from high school to adulthood. The resources found here encourage high expectations and successful outcomes for all students. So I've provided that website below. I encourage you to visit that, even if you have younger children or you serve younger children. It's a really great website, and it's continually being updated and improved. I do want to stress that transition for students who are on individualized education plans, transition must become a part of that IEP by age 14. So we're not just talking about those last years of high school and into adulthood. It really starts at age 14 and looking forward to where do we see this student going and how are we going to help him or her reach their full potential. So definitely check out that. You can also, if you have transition questions, that's also something that you can reach out to us about, and it would be our friend Mari who would help you navigate those things, as she's the one who works on the transition piece primarily. And then finally, I just wanted to share out our Facebook page. That's a great way to get the most up-to-date information. Also, our website and our phone numbers are provided here, as well as the Transition Iowa website. Right now on our Facebook page, we're really kind of highlighting. Our goal is not just to share out a bunch of links, but in this time, we know that families are kind of inundated by different links that are, being used for homeschool or whatever right now with COVID-19. But we're really trying to personalize them. And so each link that you see shared out on our Facebook page right now has been thoroughly looked at by one of the family support specialists. We're recommending it with reasons behind. So give that a look, and hopefully you'll find some meaningful resources, especially geared towards our students with special needs and with IFSP and IEP services. And that's all I have for today. I want to thank you again for being here, and thank you, Kim at Easterseals. I appreciate the ask.